Here we are! The game's in! We're in! Holy moly, wasn't expecting it to happen, but here we are! Ladies and gentlemen, for game number 1. Between Dying for the Cause, that's the name! Dying for the Cause, I got it. Alright, I'm going to change it next time. So Dying for the Cause versus Tracy with the ass? Question mark. Does she have an ass? Doesn't she have an ass? Who knows? Whoever this Tracy lady is, we'll have to ask her. I don't know. So Dying with the Cause, let's kicking off by taking away the puck. One of the heroes which has been so popular in the meta at the moment. It used to be a long time ago, well not even that long ago, but it used to be a high mid hero, but the last couple of patches, puck sort of disappeared. You only really saw him popping in and out of games, mainly as support, but with the 7.28, he has started seeing a comeback, so he's back to being banned out most games. Same situation with OD. Again, being banned out quite a lot. Don't really see him very often. And when you do, they generally crush, which is why they get banned. So either way, it's the puck in the OD ban coming up from Dying for the Cause, and Tracy with the ass. They get rid of the Dark Willow and the Death Prophet. So two quite versatile heroes there. And ooh, actually the Shadow Shaman first pick up there from Dying the Cause. One of the most popular support heroes in this current meta. Just the way Shackles is so damn strong. You get bajillion cast range on it with the snake spawning as well, and then you're in conjunction with the Hex as well. You are just one massive bullshit crowd controlling hero. You're not even really crowd controlling, you can control 2 people. So you're just some massive disable for someone. If you can get the Hex onto them before they can react and activate a BKB or something, they are fucked. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They are screwed. Unless they've got an absolutely insane support on their side, which can, like an Oracle, they can chuck down a False Promise to really save the initiation, but who knows. Maybe they might grab that. Here's the Jug Heroes, the first pickup from Tracy the Arser, kicking things off by going straight for their position 1. Must be a nice little comfort hero there. I know when I was helping doing the casting last Wednesday, like doing the main cast, we saw, I can't remember who the player was now, but we saw some really interesting Juggernaut builds coming out. I think it was like Radiance into E-Blade and stuff. It was quite a peculiar build. It didn't work out, obviously. I say obviously, in my head it's obviously, but I'm sure, you know, the reason why they built it is because it must have worked before, so can't judge too badly. But even still, it's the jump first pickup from Tracy the Arse. Imagine it's going to be just a more of a standard build. Doesn't need to go anything too crazy. Not at the moment, anyway. Also, just with the built-in magic community to really just make sure you don't get screwed over by this lockdown that's coming out from the Shadow Shaman early on in this draft. Plus, if you get trapped in with the wards, you can always just spin and then hit the snakes, kill the ward pretty easily, and then just get yourself out of there before you get controlled up any further. So maybe seeing that Dive for the Cause, they might go for something like a Beastmaster potentially, have some magic immune pierce and stun. Instead, they're going to go for the Nature's Prophet, another very high hero in a lot of people's pools at the moment for this current meta. Again, another flexible hero, can be played in cores or support roles depending on just the current layout of your draft and what you're going up against. But just the use of the Greater Treants now, they got nerfed slightly in the C buff, C patch, but it's hardly anything. Their like attack rate got reduced by hardly anything at all. Very mediocre change to it, really. Still a very, very strong hero. You just get those Greater Treants, and no matter how many trees you chop down, when you get sprouted, you're still stuck. So it's a good way of actually trapping in this Juggernaut, as obviously the Jug, he's going to have a Quelling Blade, so he's going to be able to chop those trees. So sub 20 minutes, he's going to be able to get out of any sprouts that's going to be coming out of his way from this Nature's Prophet. But as soon as that Ag Shard is online for the Natures, the Jug's probably just going to have to start Omni slashing or Swift slashing his way out of those trees. It's going to be the only way, really. We'll see how that pickup affects him later on in this game. Then there is actually the Phoenix pickup as the second hero from Tracy with the ass. Another pretty flexible hero. You tend to see it as more of a 4 role as a support-based hero, but it can be run as a position 3 in certain lineups. It does work very well. So a Phoenix can be a hero which is real annoying to deal with if they have a good start and they just really start spiraling out of control off that point. So we'll see what sort of position Tracy the Arse are going to chuck this hero into. Whether they are going to go for that traditional support or they might mix it up a little bit, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, as soon as that Phoenix ban pick came out, it was a straight up Mars ban coming out from Dying for the Cause. You never want to go up against the Mars Phoenix combo. It's real damn annoying to deal with. Just the arena that the Mars puts down, given the egg, just crazy amount of protection against any sort of ranged projectiles. Really helps keeping that egg alive. And it can change fights around just from doing that alone. So they make sure to get rid of that. I mean, Mars is a very strong hero in this meta anyway. You know, it doesn't have to be compared up with the Phoenix to really be scary. It can be very potent. Then Tracy the S, they also banned out the Rubik. So maybe they're thinking about picking up some other big ultimates. I mean, it's pretty difficult really for a Rubik to steal the egg from a Phoenix. Because as soon as the Phoenix pops his egg and he actually manages to survive, all of his base skills come off cooldown. So you're just spamming W to activate those fire spirits. So if Rubik does somehow manage to get in range for a steal without getting hit by the initial supernova stun, then he shouldn't really be able to steal the skill anyway. So that's what making me feel like they're maybe going to potentially pick into some sort of big teamfight ultimate ability. Possibly an Enigma. Enigma Phoenix could work pretty damn well. Just so much lockdown. If any number of heroes get caught out by the black hole, as soon as that black hole's over, the egg's just going to pop straight on top and just keep them stunned even further. So that would be an instant teamfight win if that combo does come off. But we'll have to see if that is what maybe Tracy the Arse is thinking about going with. But Die for the Cause, they banned out the Earth Spirit and the Lich as their other ban, so focusing towards the supports. Obviously the Earth Spirit generally position 4, likes to roam around quite a bit. So maybe that just means Die for the Cause aren't too sure as well if this Phoenix is going to be like a 4 roll or a 3 roll perhaps. Can put the Phoenix into a 5 roll, it's not quite as common. Not many people really run it that sort of role. But who knows? I mean, I don't really know a huge amount about the players in the RD2L league at the moment. So, because I'm fairly new. But I'm sure eventually I might sort of pick up the gists and the play styles of certain players. Maybe build up some sort of profile about it. Maybe. But also, Tracy the Arse, they banned out the PL and the Ursa as well. So 2 heroes which are relatively good at taking down the egg. Obviously the Ursa just going with the Empower can quickly burst the egg in those earlier levels at least. And the PL as well, pretty easy to spill out the attack speed slow. That really hinders the egg quite a bit. But there is the Shaker pickup going up from Tracy the Arse. He did actually get nerfed, you know, not a huge amount, but it's kind of annoying nerf that he got where the Aghanim Shard stun that echoes through your Fisher now only actually has half its duration, which is quite a lot. I think it's takes it down to like 0.9 seconds or 1 second or something like that. Because I think Aftershock is just 1.8 seconds max level. So yeah, I think it takes it down to like 0.9 seconds. It's still something. It still helps disable people, but just not quite as good as it once was. But there is the Snapfire pickup as well, coming out from Dying for the Cause. So looking like, I mean, you used to see Snapfire mid quite a lot, but you don't really see it very often. So maybe it's going to be more of a traditional support Snapfire perhaps. Works quite well. Mortimer's Kisses into the shackles, just locks someone down for a really long time, gets tons of hits off, does quite a bit of damage. But there is the Window Wyvern pickup. And so that's looking like then this is going to be a core. It's either going to be a core Earthshaker or a core Phoenix in the off lane. I guess it all just depends on what some of these players are actually comfortable going with. But I think most often you see the Earthshaker as a 4, so I imagine then this Phoenix would be pushed onto a 3 roll. I mean, I've seen people play like Winter Wyvern mid and stuff, so I could be completely just get thrown a curveball here and predict something completely wrong. But who knows? But it's looking like it's just their mid laner left to pick up for Tracy with the arse. Meanwhile, Dying for the Cause still got their mid and their safe lane. And there's going to be the safe lane. It will be the Slark. So it works quite well against the Juggernaut. Can just use his ultimate and completely dodge out the Omni Slash if the Jug tries to go for that move onto him. So makes it quite difficult for the Jug in that respect. As well as the fact that the Essence Shift drain also goes through Magic Immunity, right? So even if the Jug's spinning, he's still getting all his stats drained as he's trying to trade blows with the Slark. So you're never really going to win that war. But now it is looking like both mid laners are left to pick up for both of these teams. And sure enough, both of the teams are banning out mid laners. Time for Cause, they've got rid of the Queen of Pain and the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, Trace of the Arse, so far they've banned out the Shadow Fiend as well as the TA. So we'll see what as Dying for the Cause got the first pick here. They've got a pretty well-rounded lineup at the moment. I imagine this is going to be a Nature's Prophet core. With the Pos 4, Shadow Shaman, and the Snapfire will be your 5, paired up with the Slark. Yeah, I think that's where it'll end up. So, what sort of mid laner would you want to go to pair up with this? Invoker's pretty good, to be honest. You can go for like an Exhort build Invoker, because so far you've got the Sprout, you've got the Leash, you've got the Shackles. You've got so many ways for people to control up other heroes to land those easy Sunstrike hits. But instead, they actually can go for the Lina. So, you know, Lina can control up a lane quite well, especially if they get a decent start. Can do an absolute disgusting amount of damage as well. With the early levels into, obviously, Dragon Slave and the LSA on top. So we'll see what Trace of the Arse going to think about grabbing to try and counteract this Lina. And maybe they could just go for like a mid laner to just try and out DPS it, possibly from afar. Like maybe you could go something like a Zeus. Zeus could maybe work. Who else paired up against Selena? You also have someone who can come in junction with the Jug quite well, and it's actually going to be the Pugner. Okay, so we've not really seen mid Pugner for quite a while. So this should be quite an interesting turn of events. And unfortunately, again, I don't know enough about the players in this league so far. So just seeing what people have picked on their heroes, it doesn't quite tell me what roles they're going to be in. So I'm sort of just going to have to wait until people just plod on down to their respective lanes. But obviously, this is looking like it will be a mid-Pugner, right? And then Dildork would be paired up with Still at the bottom. There's the 1 and 5. And then the Earthshake and the Phoenix on their respective off lane. Meanwhile, Devi and Tammy B should be their safe lane. And then Barry... Devi and Barry, I imagine. And then Tammy B and Mash on their off lane. And then Grak in the mid. I don't know. That's my prediction. Whether this will happen, who knows? Who knows? It'd be good if the game actually starts when the music drops. Oh! Woo! Holy hell, it did! That was calculated. That was calculated as hell. I'm happy with that. Even though the music's probably very quiet, so you guys probably couldn't even hear it. Because I can barely hear it myself. So anyway, here we are for game number 1 between Tracy with the ass and Only for the Cause. Oh, buttons. Buttons? Buttons are always a pain in the ass. So it's looked like quite a few heroes heading towards the bot at the moment. Coming out from the Cause. Maybe they're going to try and set up some sort of defensive first blood here, seeing if Tracy ends up trying to go for some sort of aggressive move across the river. But unfortunately for them, It's pretty much the opposite move that's been made out. 3 heroes going up towards the top, just hanging up on the high ground, seeing if anyone moves into their side. But no team's sort of going to walk into a trap. I mean, maybe the Radiant might just push over towards this river and try and get aggressive onto the other bounty, and then they could just run straight into Mike and get an easy first blood there. And they are actually going to head over, but fortunately for Mike, he actually just backs out to the tier 2. Man's got 6th sense. He just knows. He just knows to back the hell out of there. And down for the Gauls. They're just going to be able to secure both of these 2 bottom bounties as both members of Tracy backing away. They don't want to get involved whatsoever. And it looks like the 3 up top, they're going to be able to take the bounty for sure, but the other one in the triangle is going to get claimed up by Mash. So will actually be 3 bounties for 1. Going for down for the cause. We'll do it for the cause. My god, I can't remember already. This is terrible. No, it just says goddamn Radiant and Dire. Oh, I want team names. Team names, man. Ah. How terrible. And there's not like there's any flags or anything I can go off of. There's a goddamn tombstone. That's not helping me. Never mind. So, Debbie, he should be alright in this lane, really. You're always going to have the Dark Pact to purge off the Fire Spirits. It's going to be coming out from Mev. Obviously, it is looking like it is a position 3 Phoenix with the support of the Earthshaker. Sort of expected. But obviously, Deb, he doesn't really want to have to put an early point into Dark Pact already. He wants to get those points rather into Essence Shift. But I mean, you're up against a Phoenix, so you're not really going to be right-clicking the Phoenix all that much anyway, stealing the stats off. So maybe you don't really care. Maybe he's happy just to take a few early levels into Dark Pact. How's this mid looking so far? Pretty even. Just a slight lead so far favouring Grak. Or Grace. I think it is Grak though, right? But this is just early levels. Once this hits level 3, both these 2 just trading spells off of each other. Vouchers will obviously have level 2 into the Nether Blast. Grak, he'll just have, I don't know, probably put his 3rd point into Dragon Slave or the LSA. He's going to give Dragon Slave just to make sure he has all 3 of his abilities online. Up top, I think still he's going to have a little bit of a rougher time than what Devi is, I imagine. Just the amount of pressure that Mash and Tammy's going to be able to put onto him is definitely quite a lot, especially seeing as how Dog's he's focused on doing his stacks, which you know what you've got to do, but that does leave the opportunity for the 2 up top to try and pressure out the Jug as much as they can whilst the Winter Wyvern is away. Really doesn't seem like they're putting that much emphasis on trying to push him out the lane, really. I feel like Tammy should just be right-clicking this Jug a little bit more. Just really starting to put quite a bit of pressure onto him. Now he needs to be careful. He's ran quite far away from the lane. Not quite going to warrant the chase further coming out from Steel. Tammy's just trying to steal these losses. He's taking tons of damage in return, though, from Dildog. He's going to have to be a little bit careful about putting himself in this situation. Especially seems how he's sandwiching himself. Where is he going? He's just wrapping all the way around. Man's on an adventure. And it works. But hey, you go in places when you're in the off lane. Oh, Vouchers. He actually gets caught by the LSA. It's must have Dragon Slave on top. There's the Decrepify defensively. And it will last long enough for him to get away. Because I think the levels in Decrepify don't even alter, do they? Yeah, it's always just 3.5 seconds. And now Vouchers, he's got his bowl. It's empty. Grak, he's also got his bowl. It's also empty. So this 4-minute time-in is going to be a real crucial decider for this mid lane. Whoever gets lucky enough to grab that rune will start winning majority. Meanwhile up top, Steel's actually able to get the first blood, just spinning down Tammy. He just could not quite escape, especially with the 2 points there into the spin. So the extra bit of damage really coming in handy there. Mash might need to be a little bit cautious himself. Spin is up online in a few seconds, as well as another Ice Blast. If they do time it right, they could just quickly go for the kill there. Now Tammy's back. Maybe it might be a little bit too difficult. But even still. So now Debbie, he's still doing alright. Actually pretty damn similar CS to Steel up top at the moment. 16 and 3 to Devi to the 14 and 2 of Steel. So it's very, very even between these two. Meanwhile, and then pretty much the CS difference between the two offlaners is very identical as well. Apart from the fact that Mash has got a dump load more denies, but you've got to assume that a large majority of those denies are his treants. I've not been paying attention to huge amount to what his denies actually are on, but I imagine they are just the treants that he is spawning out. Meanwhile, in the mid, huge amount of denies as well actually from Grak. He's also on 8. To the 3 that is on vouchers, and it is actually quite transmuting to a large difference in XP. Grak's actually now onto his level 6. Meanwhile, vouchers, he's just over his level 5 mark, so it's basically an entire level's worth of experience difference between these two heroes. For the 5-minute bandits do spawn, so both minutes going to bottle up. Looks like Dilldog, he might get caught out here, but he is able just to fly straight over the walls. Dodges out the rotation from Mash, as well as Grak not being able to find this Winter Wyvern. And easily lets him TP back to the tier 1 tower, so good bit of awareness there from Dilldog. And getting out just in time before he got caught. So we'll see if Grak's able to do anything with this early level advantage that he does have. I mean, maybe he might just try and go for like a sort of early rotation around the map and use this Laguna Blade. And try and net a kill for one of his side lanes. Or maybe he might just keep a constant presence in this mid, making sure that Vouchers doesn't just get loads of free farm. And just try and further the XP lead between these two heroes. Very. He's getting quite low in the mid. But Mikey steps way too close to the tier 1 tower. He does actually get turned on and he will drop. At least Mev was able to still get the kill there onto Barry with the dot damage coming out from the Fire Spirits. So I mean, maybe Mike's happy with that. Maybe not. I mean, it was Barry that actually got the kill onto Mike, so that is a little bit better. If it was Deppy that got that last hit, then it definitely wouldn't have been worth it. Maybe he doesn't mind too much. I mean, they both went back to base. Both supports going to come back into this lane with full HP, full mana, and deliver a new set of items for their cause. Meanwhile in the mid, I missed that, but Grak, he was able to get a solo kill with the help of a double damage rune. Actually able to bring down Vouchers all on his own. Oh my god, and I'm missing stuff everywhere. Wait, what? No, it's down bottom. Mev, he's actually the one to drop this time. Barry got that kill. So taking down the Phoenix. That's quite a difficult kill to get. Seems how he must have, I don't know, he must have been caught mid-dive with the cookie, or maybe he used the dive aggressively. I'm not too sure what happened in that situation. But even still, they're making just a little bit more space for Devi to keep farming up, which is exactly what they want. But, I mean, obviously in the mid, with the Grak managing to actually get a solo kill onto Vouchers, that's pretty damn nice. And now there's 2 levels difference between these two heroes. I mean, Vouchers is almost his level 7 at least, so it's not a huge amount. Oh, he went up top. There's the first Omni Slash of the game coming out. And Tammy just gets obliterated by it. No escape for the poor old Shadow Shaman. Unfortunately, not quite blessed with any sort of phasing abilities or no Decrepify for himself. That's always just going to be easy food for the Jugger. Oh my god, I'm missing more! Grak gets another solo kill onto Vouchers! Now I just need to watch this lane like a hawk, because apparently Vouchers is just getting dogged right now from Grak. I mean, there was obviously another Gunda Blade usage, and also Grak finding a bottled regen rune as well immediately after getting the kill. Not that he even needs it. He's like full HP, half his mana pool as well. And he's going to be able to start applying quite a lot of pressure early on to this tier 1 tower. Oh, Devi down bottom. He's getting pretty low. He drops the egg, but there's the early little shredder coming out. Just obliterates that egg. Nice and scrambled. And now Mike needs to be careful himself. The Nature Wrath comes through. Does a lot of damage. Oh, Devi! He gets so low, but Mikey couldn't finish him off. Devi, you little slimy bastard. You escaped. That was close. That was very, very close. That was ballsy. I admit that. That was ballsy. And it paid off. Even actually getting the last hit himself as well. So far, do it for the cause. They're actually having a pretty good start to this game. It's not a huge difference in net worth, less than 1k gold. But when you compare it... Oh my god, I'm missing more up top. Mash goes down to Dildog and the Steel. And Tammy's trying to control up this jug to allow Grak to rotate around. And then Laguna Blade doesn't need any other spells, just chucks out that R button. And takes down the jugger. Dildog is trying to run away. Grak's on the hunt, but he will decide to disengage. Just couldn't quite get close enough to get the LSA connection. So that is actually a really nice kill there onto Steel. And a nice rotation as well from Grak, find the opening. It's 3 times he's used this Laguna Blade and 3 times he's found a kill with it. So he's definitely making the most use out of that cooldown. As soon as it's up, he's ready to go and kill someone different. Oh, double damage does spawn top, and Voucher's actually able to get it just before Grak comes into the area to nab it himself. But still, this tier 1 tower is pretty healthy when you just think that it's a mid Pugner. Generally, this tier 1 tower's pretty much dead by this point already. So it just shows that Grax has been doing a really good job at controlling out this lane. Making sure that Vouchers doesn't, you know, just start doing Pugner things. Oh, actually goes into Crepify as well as the Nova Blast. Just trying to push Grak away so he doesn't lose out the ward. Meanwhile, down at bot, I think Mev just got a solo kill onto Barry. Not quite sure what happened there. I think Barry just maybe got a little bit out of position. Maybe he was going to buy an item at the secret shop, perhaps. I'm not too sure. Ooh, with the mid. Looks like Mikey tried to go for the wrap round there on the side with the Fisher. But instead he gets caught out from the rotations. Debbie gets the kill as well. And even the Witness Curse onto Mash purely defensively, just so Dildog can escape out of there. Voucher is actually poking and prodding though onto Debbie. Especially with the help of that double damage rune, just give him a little bit of extra confidence. But sometimes a double damage rune can give you false confidence, and that's the luckiest shovel ever. You got an empty bowl, you dig up a bounty rune. Money plus regeneration. You just could not get any luck in that sort of situation. That's Dota, baby. So when we actually look at net worth, how's the difference between these two cores? Massive difference, actually. A whole 1,000 gold between Steel and Debbie right now. Steel's doing a really top-notch job at getting his farm online. It's not like he's even spiraling out of control with kills. He's 2-1-1. Meanwhile, Debbie, he's 2-0-3, so he's actually doing much better in terms of KDA. But just, I guess Steel is doing so much better in terms of last hit. 74-13 to 61. It's not even a huge amount of CS difference either. I guess maybe Steel's just not had to spend as much money on regeneration this game. Able to keep himself sustained just much more. Meanwhile, Tammy now, he's getting gone on. Maybe just overextended a little bit too much. The spin's about to wear off, and he will manage to hex up Steel, but he's still going to get brought down. Meanwhile, in the mid, Grak again able to find a solo kill onto Vouchers. Now 4-0-1 on this Lina, and this tier 1 tower is going down. Nice deny attempt there from Dildog, but unfortunately, the 64 damage compared up to the 158 of the Lina, just not quite as easy as you might think. So, it looks like nearly the, what's that, Echo Saber? So nearly the Echo Saber is going to be online for Debbie pretty soon. Well, he's about 800 gold away. Wants to get those instant essence shift stacks up as fast as he can. Ooh, actually doing an aggressive jump forwards there onto Vouchers with the Mormon's Kiss on top. It's loads of damage. Vouchers gets melted away. Steel's coming in here as well. Charging forwards. He does have almost such ready available. He's going to drop it, but it's the same time as the Witness Curse. Oh no! It's completely mistimed. Mez actually gets picked off from the side as well. Mash will fall. The Echo Slam gets dropped, but that's purely just for flash. As Mike does still get brought down. But despite the fact... Oh dear. Oh no, that was rough. That was rough. Yeah, they got the kill onto Mash. But just a little bit of a miscommunication there coming out from Tracy with the ass. Just stacking through their spells. Meanwhile, Crack, oh, he's just picked off Steel solo. He just found him farming up the camp. Easy LSA connection, another Laguna Blade, and that's another kill. 7-0-1 at 14 minutes in. Grack is really starting to spiral out of control this game. 7,600 net worth. He's a full 3,600 gold over the top of Vouchers, the counterpart mid laner. Oh, in fact, he's found another one! Grack, chill out, man. Stop killing people. He's got a mad one. And he's even found an arcane rune. When will it end? When will this madness end? Well, the rest of Duke, of course, managed to finish up the tier 1 down at the bottom. Devi and Mev just having a little dance. Oh, Mev, very aggressive jump forward there. What? What? Man, that was the ballsiest egg I've ever seen. Diving into a Slark who can just purge away the attack damage slow, as well as into complete fog of war, so you have no idea who else was in the area, and, well, there was a mash. Just helped kill the egg. That was the freest omelette of their lives. So I think Mev might be a little bit more cautious in the future about when he goes to those sort of aggressive plays, especially when he has no teammates. You gotta have teammates when you're dropping that egg. Very important. So now with this early lead, Duke, of course, they're just playing very, very aggressive now, just starting to really take control over the dire side of the map. Basically got complete control over the triangle right now. There is still one more high ground ward, but I imagine that's probably not going to get dewarded. Tammy does have some wards. You might think about going for it. And Dildog actually hits him, so they will realise that there is going to be high ground vision there. But I think that's going to cost Tammy's life, though, for that sort of information. And this is going to be a free kill for Vouchers there. So I imagine once Tabby respawns back up, they'll probably move back over into this area. Oh, that sentry ward is actually in range, but I don't think he actually had the vision through the nighttime fog to actually get that ward kill. So luckily there for Duke the cause, that ward's going to last a little bit longer. But Grack just using all of his early money to go for some relatively cheapish, sort of, but high-ish impact items. Got the Shadow Blade as well as the Chrysalis online, and then just going straight for the BKB. Oh, Dildog. Gotta be careful. You're walking up on the high ground. They're dancing around the tree! They don't see each other! The Dildog just runs into Barry! Oh, no, Dildog, you got caught out there. That's unlucky. The egg gets dropped there by Mev. It looks like he will be able to find the kill into Barry's. He does burn away. Oh, Dev! Dev's driving in there. He's madman. Managed to purge off the stun, though. They still got the kill onto Vouchers. HB hardly dropped at all as well. So that's just another free kill there for Duke, of course. Obviously, Barry losing his life. But just that little do-si-do around the tower, around the tree, sorry. And that was just for the tier 2 tower. It's getting sieged up pretty easily from Duke the Cause now up to the top lane. Still tons of creeps and using an aggressive glyph as well just to keep the wave going. There was also a defensive glyph used. I mean, there is a possibility that Duke the Cause, they could just go balls deep right now and just keep applying pressure up top. There's no glyph and they are so far ahead right now. It'd be very difficult for Tracy to try and take some sort of fight. Especially that fact that Egg is now on cooldown. Hey, you know, they decide to fall back, pinging out the Roshan pit. Grant wants to take that as his next objective. Even an arcane rune, once again. And there is just no information for Tracy to try and take this Roshan. So they don't even know what's going on. They only have one ward out on the map so far, and it is in their own triangle. Meanwhile, Vision on the side of Duke, of course. Oh, the Aegis is stuck. Yeah. Hey, teamwork. There's the cookie. Jump over them wards. But now Grack's stuck. Well, the majority of this smoke during is getting a little bit wasted right now. But hey, another 10 seconds, you're free, Greg. How long's left on this smoke? 9 seconds. So yeah, completely wasted. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. And Gaben has a funny sense of humour sometimes. Alright, let's get some bow fishing back right now. Quite a few members of Tracy grouped up. They're actually going to go for a smoke up now. And with the vision down bottom on Mash, they head in their direction. But he just TP straight out there. Steel was the only one in this area. Oh, but Debbie though. He's TP'd a very aggressive jump forwards. And he's just gone straight into the whole weight and arms of the entirety of Team Tracy. He's trying to get out of there. Mike, he can't get quite close enough to go for any further sunlock. And Debbie was actually able to sneak out of there. And now it's Tracy who's on the back foot. They're in full retreat right now. See if they can get out there. The Orchid silence there onto Steel to make sure he can't do any sort of omni slash him. But Mike easily gets picked off as well as Dill Dog. 10-0-1 now on this Lena. Both supports gone up in 20 seconds though. But there should still be another tower getting taken down. I mean, was there any big ultimates used as well? Witness Curse was actually used. Oh, crack! Oh, the LSA actually missed. Voucher's going to try and go for some sort of turn up. There's some almost kiss as well. Force him to cancel out. Barry just got dived from there by Mev. Another LSA not quite on the mark. So no one gets brought down this time. Barry did go pretty low. And Grax is standing his ground. He just doesn't care about moving whatsoever. He's got this Aegis. And he's got the entirety of his team right behind him. Meanwhile, Mash, he was just taking down the tier 2 tower. So another tier 2 down. More gold into the pockets. Hope to do it for the cause. And what's the actual next side that Steel is building? He's going for the mountain style. So that's going to be a way of dealing with this Orchid that has come out. Make sure he's not going to get caught out before he can spin and at least try and disengage. Or re-engage, depending on the situation. But he has already got his Maelstrom at least, so he's got some sort of farm mechanic and damaging item available to him. But unfortunately, it's not quite. He can't quite get the space to build up his farm anymore. Just there's so much pressure coming out from the Radiant side right now. The final tower is dropped, and now it's just down to the tier 3s left. Oh, maybe a nice bit of strong control here onto Grag. He's getting pretty low, and with the Sunray on top, it's enough damage to actually burn down his first life. Maybe they're set up to try and dive straight on top of him. That's going to be a little bit risky choice. Immediately silence there from Steel, but nice Witness Curse, at least disengage and allowed him to fall back on top. The Echo Slam is one on top. They're locking down Debbie. He's just able to drop down. They managed to get the first crack. He also falls with the egg at the background. They found the two most important kills they can. It looks like Tammy, he's going to fall as well. He couldn't quite escape. Perfect situation there coming out from Tracy. Finally coming out on top in one of these engagements. Just that lovely Witness Curse. Into the Echo Slam follow-up there from Mike. Perfect synergy between these two heroes. Getting that maximum lockdown, maximum damage. And just, there was absolutely nothing that the Doom for the Cause could do. There was nothing. They're just gone. And that's going to be the first opportunity for Tracy to actually start applying some pressure. The first tier 1 of the game. Taken down. And with that situation as well, Mikey's pretty close to finishing up his Blink Dagger now. 200 gold. Move on. And bottom Mash, you just dropped the Orchid there onto Vouchers. Needs to be careful though. Managed to find a kill onto the Courier, and he's going for the TP out. Oh, they're into Decrepify. This is too much damage. Barry able to get the TP out there though. But that Decrepify magic damage amplification working real damn well with paired with the Phoenix Sunray. Oh, but Crack, he's here as well. They dropped down the Sentry Ward. And they're pinging around, maybe thinking about going aggressively now once this Lena. If they can kill her once again. There's the Fisher, long range. Blink forward there from Voucher. There's already a BKB out from Grack. He's going to be able to pop that and completely force the disengage. Meanwhile, Tammy, he dropped the walls and he got a free kill onto Mike in the back lines. Grack, he's still on the run from these two heroes. His BKB's out now. But the Shadow Blade invisibility is just too damn long. Tammy, meanwhile, he does actually eventually drop down to Vouchers and Mev. Oh, spin in the back. Grack, he's getting pretty low. Nice Arcane Blast. Not Arcane Blast, sorry. Splinter Blast. Actually picking off Grack once again. So that's 2 times this Lena's died in a row. Not managing to find anything else. So get a 2-for-1 trade. Take it down the Lena, only losing the Earthshaker, and that's a nice little golden XP chunk go back in towards their favour. That gold lead that was quite heavily into Duke the Call's favour has dropped down from, I think it was up to 12k at one point. Now it's down to 7. I don't know why I can't get the net worth graph for some reason. A bit confused about that. That'd be very handy to have right now, but you know. So, it's all actually starting to look pretty nicely for Tracy right now. They found that big engagement outside their tier 3 in the mid. They took that. It went really damn well, and they've also successfully managed to take a follow-up engagement shortly afterwards. So the momentum has slowly started to shift in towards their favour. And Steel's actually building up towards the Basher as his next item. I wonder if he's going to go for the Aghanim Scepter build, or if he's not even going to really bother, if he's just going to go for just pure DPS right-click build, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what he's going to go for. I'm sure we'll find out once his Basher is complete. Meanwhile, Devi, he's got his S&Y, he's got an Echo Saber, and he's trying to build up an a BKB himself. And that's going to work really damn well, going up against the damage coming out from the Pugner, the lockdown from the Earthshaker, all the stuff the Phoenix throws on the top, as well as the Winter Wyvern. I mean, I'm not sure if he really... Does he really need it, though? I mean, he's got... A lot of that stuff you can just purge off. Like the Decrepify and stuff. Obviously, you can't purge off the... Well, you can purge off the stuns if you time it right. So I feel like maybe he just sort of needs a little bit of extra damage. Because so far, it's all quite onto Grak's back right now. And there is quite a large chunk of damage that comes in from the Morton's Kisses of Barry. As well. I don't know. We'll have to see how this build pans out. But with this smoke hot play coming out from Doof the Cause, they are picking out onto the triangle. Not going to be under there, but they actually get the spawn to voucher step, but he's able to get the blink dagger back. Pops the smoke. Fucking crazy reactions there from him. Managing to dodge that entire gank and gets himself to safety. And even still just goes for the spin TP out of the jungle as well. So every member of Tracy manages to retreat back to the base. But Roshan, ooh, very, very quick respawn timer actually, up in 5 seconds. So we'll see if anyone actually scouts this out pretty quickly, or if it's going to go widely unknown for a long time. There's actually quite a few couriers heading over towards this area, and I think, yeah, the courier of Tammy was actually heading straight into there, and they will spot it out. Or do they? No one's picked it yet. Now Grak will actually notice it. So now everyone of the Cause, they're going to immediately rotate onto this Roche pit, start taking down this objective once again. And maybe with the Aegis Cheese, their next push onto the tier 3s might actually go a little bit more successfully. Once again, no way for Tracy to... Or Tracy's team. I don't know, I just say Tracy. Hope you guys realise that I'm talking about the whole team, right? And there's not one specific player or person on this team called Tracy? Or is there? Is one of these players' real names called Tracy? Oh, I don't know. I can't, you know, it's either call the whole team Tracy or call the whole team ass. I don't think I feel too comfortable at calling the whole team ass the whole time, so I'm just going to stick with calling them Tracy. Yeah, it works. That works. Now, Aegis and Cheese. The Aegis did go into the hands of Grak, and I imagine Devi's got the cheese, right? Yeah, in his backpack, actually, so he's just going to maybe just hold on to it. And possibly just pass it over to Grak when the time comes. No, he's going to put it into his actual inventory. So it seems a bit prioritising smaller items over a cheese. So, just so many members of Tracy just playing so scared and defensively right now. Hiding in their base. Still not left this area whatsoever. Just waiting for the inevitable push to come out from Do For The Cause. They're just keeping 24/7 vision outside of their base. Or trying to anyway. Large majority of it keeps getting denied up. When it comes to this push, this is the good thing about the side of Trace. They got loads of anti-push. The Sun Ray, the Splinter Blast as well. All this sort of non-committal damage that they can do to just keep these waves pushed out. Meanwhile, all that's going on. Snake's also getting dropped now. And Crack's just throwing his right clicks from afar. Still, just goes for the spin, clears up most of those wards. But still, the tier 3 tower does actually end up falling down. Oh, the Witness Curse, it gets dropped. And Debbie actually just walks in close enough, so they get caught. And there's the Echo Slam for a bite. They got the first life there onto Crack. As well as Debbie, he gets dropped down. He couldn't get the cheese off in time. As well as the Cold Embrace as well, keeping Mike alive. Not enough dot damage. He does slowly ticking down, but still the jump forwards there from Vouchers. Found Tammy. And now Barry also getting caught out. And the last two members of Do For The Cause just have to completely bail from this area. And again, it's another failed push. Just perfect counterplays coming out from Tracy. Every single time that these guys start knocking on their tier 3 door, they just open up and say, not today, and slam the door back in their face. And that's how you play Dota. It's just so difficult for Do For The Cause to really just siege. There's so many ways that Tracy is able to just push them back, as I was saying earlier. A lot of the long range sort of nuke damage that they can chuck out non-committal. And then as soon as anyone from Do For The Cause steps out of position, like those two did, then they can easily capitalize on it. Now, Witness Curse that came up from Dildog did catch out Grat. And just Debbie actually just walked into the radius. He actually just stepped a little bit too close there. Actually ended up getting both of them killed. As that set up for the easiest Echo Slammer for Mike as well, again. And I mean, it's working. That's all they need to keep doing. It's every single time the Do For The Cause comes close to their tier 3s. Get a nice Witness Curse, get a nice Echo on top, and everyone else will just crumble to pieces. As soon as the leader in that slot's gone, it's all the fuel out of Do For The Cause tank. Now actually for the first time in this game as well, we see still at the top of that net worth chart, overtaking Grak and Debbie. And he is going for the Aghanims build, and he's actually got it in 50 gold. He's probably not even going to bother saving for buyback. I don't think he really needs to. No, he's not going to. Why would he? So now this Jug's actually a pretty damn scary thing to go up against. Basher, Manta, Maelstrom, and Aghanims. As well as the Elven Tunic on top of that. It's going to be very difficult to deal with this Jug. You know what, Debbie? He's got his BKB online. He's got his SMY as well. Did he actually even get the BKB off? The first use has been used. I didn't see it go off. Unless maybe most of the duration was used up while he was beating into Grak, perhaps, from the Witness Curse. Not too sure. So now it feels like Do For The Cause are a little bit anxious about what sort of course to take now. They are going for another smoke up play, and they need to get a pick off. Because that's what they need. They need the hero advantage before they can go high ground. And Mike, oh, he actually gets hit by Nature's Wrath. He cancels out his Blink Dagger. He's going away, but the Echo Slam just gets dropped by Mike. It stuns up onto Debbie. The BKB came out in time, onto Tammy, sorry. Mike does end up falling down. Dildog, his A on disc will actually pop, and he's going to drop the Witness Curse defensively. Meanwhile, still just jumps in the backline, gets a free kill onto Mash. Grak is chuckling plenty of right clicks from afar. The egg also gets dropped, but Grak's going to immediately kill that out. And that will fall. Meanwhile, Debbie's deep into the base. Wait, how did Steel die? I thought he got out of there. Never mind. Still ended up dying. Gone for 70 seconds. No buyback, because he obviously bought out for the Aghanim Scepter. And now, it's a 2-on-4 situation. And this is going to be the time for Do For The Cause to do as much damage to the base of Tracy as they can. But still, just between these two heroes, there's plenty of abilities that they can just keep chucking out from afar, pushing them all back. Still got this tier 3 tower alive, and there's actually enough time for Mike to also respawn. Look at that, the wave's just gone. There is actually a large wave pushing up onto the top, and that's going to force them to change their focus. But everyone from the core's already backed out of the area. So, I mean, yeah, they took a decent fight that time, but still, they just couldn't go high ground. Despite the huge hero advantage, they just do not have the ways of just doing long range damage onto the backlines and stop these heroes from just chucking out these abilities all the time. So it's actually Nullify queued up as Grak's next item. Quite an interesting pickup to go for. Barry? Marvelous overextended here. Oh, no, Mike jumps forwards to get the stun as well. A little bit of switch slash as well coming out there from Steel. Actually, a full omni slash. They've got the kill to him. Witness Curse. It catches onto Devi, but the BKB there was some Grak, so he doesn't get caught into it. The Echo Slam from Mike. It's enough damage to finish off Devi. Once again, Grak's BKB's run out, and he just gets blown up immediately before just all the damage coming out from the Netherboard. It's just too damn much. Barry comes back in. Maybe a mistake. He will get caught. Mash. He tries to go for the TP out, but he can't make it. It ends up being an ultra kill for Vouchers, and it was also a buyback from Tammy, but he just could not get back in there soon enough. Massive victory there from Tracy, from Team Tracy. Only loser to Phoenix, taking down 5 heroes and a buyback as well. More than nearly a 5,000 gold swing. And huge XP swing as well. Just the momentum in this game has completely shifted. There is obviously a buyback on all 3 of the cores. 4 of the cores. But if they're forced to use them right now, it's going to be really, really disastrous. It's going to be quite difficult for them to try and bring themselves back into this game. It's just the team fight that's coming out from Tracy is just so damn good right now. In the tier 3s, they're getting knocked on now. Devi's up in 7, but it's still another 22 seconds without Grak online. And that's going to be more than enough time for these structures to get deleted. Tier 3 drop super quick. The range barracks is gone. Mini barracks, that's gone as well. And they all just managed to escape with no punishment at all. Still another 5 seconds for the linear. Even managed to respawn. Lovely plays coming out from Tracy. And that's even going to be the Abyssal Blade from Steel very, very soon. And then this is going to be even more lockdown. Probably just going to be prioritizing the leader right. I mean, just the AoE damage that's coming out is from their team has been more than enough to deal with Devi. He just keeps getting blown up before he can really do anything. Just the Echo Slams on top, damage from the Egg and the Spirits and the Pugner as well on top of that. This is so much lockdown as well that even with the BKB and the Dark Pact, it just feels like he just can't quite move in and out of these fights as what a Slark should. But Mash though, he's actually managed to finish up a Cypher Vice. So there is at least some new utility coming in for their team in the next engagement. We'll see if that's actually going to be enough or not. Or if it's all just going to go the same way. Roshan is up. I didn't even see the orange bar spawn, but Roshan, I think it's just an incredibly quick respawn. Third Rosh up by 38 minutes, and with a refresher shard in it as well. That'd be really damn nice for Tracy's side to get. You either have double egg or double echo, or double witness curse. All these amazing ultimates to actually get. Hey, you can even go for a double omni slash if you wanted. I don't think that's pretty unnecessary to get for that. But it looks like Difficult, they're going to be able to clear it up again. So I imagine they're going to give the refresher shard over towards Tammy, right? And then have that double ultimate. Well, actually, no, they're going to leave it over towards Mash. Maybe this is just to pair up with the Cypher Vice and just go for a maximum lockdown. As well as obviously the double Nature's Wrath. Or Wrath of Nature. I think Nature's Wrath is easier to say. So once again, Aegis, Cheese, and now Refresher Shard into the hands of Doom for the Core. Will this finally be able to be the time where they can take a fight to Tracy and actually come out on top and start taking some objectives? Or if they're going to get repelled for the third time in a row? And as I was saying, with this Cypher Vice, might be enough to possibly start swinging these fights back into their favour. But all three cores have showed themselves on bot, so I'm pretty sure that Tracy, they're going to know what's coming. They realise their racks of the bot is about to get pushed onto. Why are you just hanging around in the mid right now? I think they saw Tammy up here, farming away. But he's able to go off into the trees. He's just going to hide here. Meanwhile, they need to go back to their base. Doom the Cores have already taken down some buildings. They're going to have to use their glyph. There's no tower here to kill the creep waves, but even still, massive TPs. All the rotations been forced back towards their base. And I guess Doom for the Cores, they're not going to press their advantage too much. There's no mana in Grak right now. He has absolutely nothing to play with. No way to regen it back apart from dying. And I think, as we all know, dying isn't really the best way to just get full mana, full HP. Oh, they did actually put the Refresher Shard over towards Tammy in the end. Just drops the double wards down. He is going to die for this. But even still, that's the tier 3 gone, as well as the range barracks taking quite a bit of damage. And then bot, they use that opening to take down the range barracks, and the melee one's going to fall as well. The Witness Curse there onto Devi, just locking down the two of them, and no follow-up damage, no Echo Slam this time. Oh, Mike, he jumps forward, but he doesn't get off in time, he gets hexed up. Still nice heals coming there from Vouchers, keeps him alive. The egg in the background as well. Devi's trying to take it down. He needs some help, it's not going to do it. The egg pops. Mike comes out, the Echo Slam gets dropped as well. Barry falls. The first life cracks quite a lovely Echo Slam, as well as the follow-up stuns onto both of them. Crack's going to fall. It's just Devi left in the base. He's trying to stand his ground, but the follow-up blast is enough to kill him. And Mashy's the only one left alive, and he is able to TP out. But again, huge losses coming out from the side of Doom for the Cause. 4 heroes dead, not getting a single kill. But at least this time, they successfully took down the melee barracks, as well as taking down the tier 3 and most of the range barracks as well. So, yeah, they lost the fight again, but they took objectives, right? They took objectives, so I'm sure it's a slightly better outcome than what the other ones were. But Vouchers, he's using this massive downtime on these two cores, and he's pushed on to tier 4s already, forcing with the buyback there from Grak. And he immediately just bails out there. It's like, objective completed. Well, the rest of the squad's just going to push into this tier 2 at the bot. Still another 30 seconds without Devi up. And that building's going to fall super quick. And now Butterfly is well into the hands of Steel, so he decided not to bother just completing out the Abyssal Blade. Went for that Butterfly, and pretty good choice really. Just the huge amount of damage that is coming out mainly from Doom for the Cause is the right clicks of Grak, as well as the right clicks of Devi as well. And neither of these two heroes have any sort of MKB or hopes of building a Divine Rapier at some point in this game. Yeah, Mashy's just keeping constant pressure up top, but this is just free money for Vouchers. With that Never Blast, easily able to clear all them up. It's just Dagon on them as well, just to keep that range barracks alive for as long as he possibly can. So, I guess the game plan for the Radiant is wait for the 4th Roche, I presume. Another 3 minutes and 10 seconds before it could possibly respawn. I mean, all the others have been very, very quick respawners. Very, very quick. But I'm sure this time Tracy, they're going to be looking at actually taking the fight to them and not allowing the 4th Roche to go into easily into their hands. Or maybe they don't care. I mean, every single time they've actually managed to successfully take the fight afterwards and repel them out of their base. But they are slowly losing their base, right? And they're not... They've already taken down the mid barracks. They have opened up the bottom set at least, but there's still both the tier 1 and the tier 2 at the top lane. But then maybe the next fight, if there's no buybacks on the side of the cause, then potentially they just could go for the ender. Oh, there's the MKB actually from Debbie. I did see he had that queued up. Okay, but at least he has some sort of answer for this butterfly now. And it's a pretty good timing as well, so not even getting a full team fight out of that butterfly, true effectiveness. But there was a smoke play coming out from Tracy, heading down towards the mid, while pretty much every single member of the cause are up at the top lane at the moment. Maybe just waiting to see if anyone sort of pops into this vicinity. They move up into the triangle, grab the bounty rune. Still a little bit confused maybe why there's nobody here. And now Dildog just leading the charge, heading forwards. His smoke did pop, and he is actually going to spy out Barry. Jump force with Voucher. They're going to get the easy pick off onto the pos 5 before any sort of defensive response come out. Witness Curse as well, just making sure that Debbie couldn't jump on in. They're going to instead focus up onto Tammy, so both supports are gone. And now all 3 cores need to bail out there. BKB even forced out from Debbie to TP out back towards the base. Meanwhile, Mash, he's just been pushing in. There's no building to take down here. But he's just sending his entire army onto the tier 4s and sprouts himself up. TP's out of there. Actually have to do a fair amount of damage onto the tier 4s, so that's not even that bad of a trade for him, really. Sure, you lost both your supports, but unless Tracy, they're actually going to use this 2-hero advantage, then it doesn't really affect the Duke of the Core side at all. Dildog just poking at the wave. Very wise TP out as well. He was coming hunting. Make sure he dodges that situation. Actually, Refresher Shard queued up for Mev right now, so he wants to go for those big double egg plays. Is that Dagon 5? Oh, yeah. Dagon level 5 now for vouchers as well. So, big mash damage burst coming out from him. But, you know, the 2 main cores have got BKBs. Mash, he's also got a BKB. So, that's unfortunate news for the supports on the side of Do For The Cause. I mean, the team name is Do For The Cause, so supports, you're just going to have to get sacrificed. And a Dagon or 2 to the face, yeah, you're going to take it. So Roche up in 1 minute 20 seconds. Pretty average-ish respawn time. And it looks like that's just what Do For The Cause is going to be focusing a lot of their attention around. Just waiting for this this next objective to come online. Vouchers, he's just slowly sieging the bot, just chucking down his Never Blast, get a couple more hits from it. And easy just to TP back out again. So it feels like both teams are just a little bit unsure about what the next sort of course of action is. I mean, this the fight that's going to happen around this next Roche is really going to tell the tale of the rest of this game. So I assume both teams are just not going to let it happen. Finally, this time, Tracy, they've got some vision outside of their pits. They can know what's going on. Oh, meanwhile, Greg, he's actually going to go for the pick up onto Vouchers there. He will manage to grab him before any sort of help can come in. Dildog, his Neil Desk gets popped. He pops down the curse just to try and make a little bit of space, but Tammy's already there with the shackle, holding him back in place. Mikey jumps forwards with the Echo Slam, but it's not much damage, as well as the egg also getting dropped to the back lines. They both die. It's just still left in the front lines at the moment. He's going to try and stand his guy and drops the Omni Slash. Barry gets brought down. He's going to try and go for the spin out there. Vouchers did actually buy back for this. Debbie, he's just whacking away. Doesn't actually have a bastard though, so they couldn't quite get the lockdown onto him. So it ends up being a 2-for-4 trade, favouring Do For The Cause, as well as a buyback on Vouchers. And Roshan is now spawned. And I don't think I don't think Tracy decided that. Yeah, it already got dewarded, so they're not going to realise that this move is going to go on. David's going to run straight on in there and start taking it down himself. Who would you give the Aghanim Scepter over to? I guess, would you just give it to Tammy? Just so you can actually help try and close out this game a little bit better when you push on to these tier 3s, perhaps? I'm not too sure, but the scan actually has to come out there from Tracy, but even though they know this Roshan's going on, they know there's nothing really they can do about it. They just have to let it go. So yeah, it's deliberate who we want to give this axe over to. It's in the pocket of Mash right now. It looks like they are going to give it to Tammy. They're sort of dancing. Oh, okay, they give the refresher short over towards Tammy, but Mash is actually keeping the axe. Or are they just, I guess they're holding it for Grak then, just so you can get the pure damage on his Laguna Blade. Pure damage and BKB piercing. Very, very strong. Especially if he decides to build a just get the Aghanim's shard as well. And just go for some cheeky multiple hero pure damage, 1000 damage hits. So now Grak's up. I imagine everyone on the side of the course are going to start grouping up now. And they're going to look to try and close out this game. Right, 4th attempt, 4th Rosham. It could be the way. I mean, they managed to take a pretty decent fight as well outside the base, but it's just when those fights start actually creeping towards the buildings. And that's when it starts going iffy for them. They've gone for a smoke up play. Oh, they've actually got the grab onto Steel as well. They dropped down the shackles coming up there, but Mike there with the long range stun, as well as the Witness Curse, holding back Devi. And Steel was able to spin and disengage from this fight, but Vouchers though, he wants to try to stand his ground. Steel's actually done the U-turn. Omnislash comes out, it's mainly damage onto Grak. He's doing so much damage, it's actually enough to bring him down. The end of the back line, the stun stop that collects on anyone immediately hex up as well. Vouchers is doing the defensive drain, hitting him up. Echo Slam as well from Mike in the back line, stunning up onto Barry. He's getting pretty low. Meanwhile, Steel jumping around in the back. Masher gets brought down, and then the first life of the Slark has gone as well. As soon as the performance kiss is coming out from Barry, he's going to try and make a little bit of space, but he's pretty low. Dildog wants to try and finish him off and push him out of it, but still not quite able to do it. Debbie just poking the product about to TP forwards. Out comes another drain as well as the Swift Slash, and that's enough damage to bring down the Slark. Meanwhile, in the mid, Barry's still alive. The dive forwards there from Mev. He's on the hunt for him. One use of the Glimmer Cape, and he's going to go for the double back. Nice movements there from Barry, slipping out and keeping himself safe. But again, it's another fight going towards Tracy's favour, taking down 3. All 3 cores of the side to do it for the cause. And that was with Aegis and Cheese as well. Oh, and Barry, he gets caught out. Just a little one hit from the Swift Slash there from Steel, as well as the drain from Vouchers. And he's gone as well. They do have 3 buybacks available. We'll see what sort of damage they're planning from the side of Tracy. It's so disgusting how life drain gives mana as well. 2 buybacks forced out, but still doesn't seem phased. He's carrying and hitting on these buildings. Grak's up in 15 seconds. That's going to be more than enough time to do quite a lot of damage onto these buildings. Still. Oh, just goes for the jump force there with the Abyssal Blade. Gets hexed up and as well as shackled. The jump force and Vouchers as well is doing quite a lot of damage. They bring down Tammy. A buyback from Devi as well on top. Now they're in full retreat. So many buybacks. There's enough economic damage as long as if Tracy can get out of here. They're going to be more than happy about how all this turned out. And it looks like they will. I don't think anyone on the side of the course is going to be able to catch them. They actually will manage to slip out. Oh no, Tammy. Got the jump ball from Mash as well to TP and the Cypher Vice. They got the pick off onto the Jug as well, the control, and everyone's already bailed. And that's going to be a free kill into the Jugger. Nearly 1,000 gold going over towards Mash. That's definitely what they need. Definitely what they needed right now. He does have a buyback available, so it's not that they're going to be able to just run down mid and end this game. But it's a step in the right direction. Just both teams just doing so much like structural damage to each other. Dildog, he went for the deny there onto their ward, but now he just gives vision over to himself, uses the glimmer. Gonna hide by the outpost. All that 4-star down to low ground, he shows himself just barely. Another teleportation forwards there from Mash. They're on the hunt for the poor little Frost Dragon. There is the grab there with the Cypher, as well as the Sprouts. And there's nowhere left to run. Oh, we tried to go for the Winter's Curse play, but it's actually a Lincoln Sphere on Mash as well. Oh, actually, there's a gem drop. And now an AC finish up as well. So a little bit of extra pusher potential now coming out from the side of the Duke's Cause. And it looks like the top lane is their target of choice. Both the two heroes down on the side of Tracy have got buyback available. They're going to force out from Dildog, but they can try and hold on for the Jugger, and they should be able to. Another 20 seconds. Snakes actually get dropped in the mid, but it's an entire creep wave there, so they get mopped up immediately. Doesn't go over to do with the jump forwards of Mike, the Echo Slap. It's enough damage. They bring down Grak. He's going to force him to buy back already. He's going to try and get back on into this fight. But it's still, it doesn't look like they've had to find anything. Of course, they're trying to back out. Barry is caught in the back lines. He's not going to be able to escape from this. He's getting caught out by another Fisher. And Mash, he's getting controlled up as well. They don't have any sort of vision through the Sprout. He shows himself, but they didn't realise he was in there. If they had the vision, then Vouchers could have gone for the Cyber Visor. But Grak, he's in. He's going to try and get the pop-up onto Vouchers. But there's the egg save there from the Phoenix. He's going to try and do it. He's getting pretty low. Might get pretty low as well. But the egg does pop, bring them both out there. Grak, he dies again. Gone for 2 minutes. And Devi is trying to retreat here. And doesn't look like they have the follow-up vision, so he will manage to escape. But this is looking like it. This is looking like the end of the game. With 5 versus 3, no buyback available for the Lina or the Snapfire. And the tier 4s are exposed. We'll see if these 3 heroes are going to be able to make some sort of miraculous hold. But so far, Devi's at the bot. Mash is at the top. They're going to come back to this base now. Is it going to be enough? The jump forwards there onto Tammy. Devi, he tries to give the Abyssal Blade, but that's too late. Tammy's already dropped. 1 tier 4 about to fall. Second tier 4 about to fall. Just the Ancient left. 2 versus 5. Mash is trying to do some ratting, but that's nowhere near enough damage. This is still going to be an easy clear out there. Devi, we get controlled up by the egg, as well as the follow-up stun. So they're not even going to finish up the Ancient. Nah, they will. They'll kill it in the end. GG is cool. And Tracy, with the ass, is victorious in game number 1. Very well played there by them. It wasn't the easiest game to win at all. Just the massive early lead that Duke of the Cause had was very, very hard to play against. And they were on the back foot for a huge portion of this game. But just every single time that Duke of the Cause tried going the high ground, Tracy the Arse, they responded well hard. Just absolutely smashing down the side of Duke of the Cause. Pushing away every single time. Gave him another Roche. Won another fight. Gave him another Roche. Still won another fight. Who cares about Aegis? Who cares about cheese? Waste of space, those items. So even still, well played to them taking game number 1. We'll see who's able to take game number 2, which will be coming up pretty soon. Boys in this league do not take much downtime. They like to go straight on back into it. So I imagine the game's going to be up pretty damn soon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. And game number 2 will be up pretty soon. I'm going to go get a drink because I'm thirsty.